Hello everyone, we are Saigon South Section 3 Group 6 and today we'll be presenting on our design academic poster out of our chosen attack type of ransomware. Before diving into the content, I'll briefly explain the layout and design choices of this poster. The poster is divided into clear sections with line dividers and headers that are labeled with numbers to make the information easier to navigate. We've used bullet points to highlight key statistics and facts, ensuring that the viewers can quickly grasp the most important points. And we decided to go with a more colorful theme overall for the poster, so it's more eye-catching and engaging for audiences to look at. So for the first section, what exactly is ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malware that exploits vulnerability within the devices and network. It's a pervasive form of cybercrime, and it's growing that exploits devices and network vulnerabilities, encrypting sensitive data and demanding payments in exchange for its release. The growing sophistication of these attacks has made ransomware a major threat to organizations all across the globe. Here's a chart for the yearly count of global ransomware attempts from 2017 to 2023. As we can see, ransomware attacks has drastically risen over time. And how does ransomware impact individuals as well as organizations? Let's break down the key impacts of ransomware. First, for the financial impact. The financial fallout of ransomware attack is significant. In 2024, nearly 90% of organizations are expected to be targeted by ransomware. The cost of these attacks are projected to reach over $265 billion in 2031. This includes not only the ransom payments, but also the cost relates to recovery, lost revenue during downtime, and the potential for regulatory fines. For operational impact, ransomware also has severe operational consequences. Attacks are often disrupt critical systems, halting workflows and forcing companies to temporarily shut down. Prolonged recovery periods strain resources, and the downtime can severely damage a company's reputation, both internally and externally. Businesses also may lose customer trust, resulting in long-term operational difficulties. Finally, for emotional impact, ransomware attacks have emotional repercussions as well. Employees and management experiences stress and anxiety as they try to mitigate the damage and restore normalcy. Additionally, these attacks erodes confidence in organizational security, making it harder for companies to regain their position in the market or attract new clients over time.
Okay, next we are coming to the part of ransomware attack free and progress. As you can see on the poster, there is a attack method of ransomware. It is general. So at first, the ransomware attack tree begins with entry points where attackers use phishing and social engineering tactics to trick users into clicking on malicious links. Once the user interacts with these links, the execution phase follows, during which ransomware is deployed onto the victim system. After that, it gaining access and the malware proceeds to the privilege escalation stage where it secures elevated access to critical systems. In the subsequent lateral movement and network discovery phase, the ransomware spreads across the network, identifying sensitive data and spreading its reach. This leads to the file encryption stage where targeted files are locked, rendering them inaccessible to the user. Finally, the attack culminates or ends in the ransom demand, where the attacker demands payment in exchange for the decryption keys needed to recover the encrypted files. This streamlined process highlights the key stages of a ransomware attack, showcasing how attackers infiltrate, exploit, and capitalize on system vulnerabilities. Next, we are going to see the tools for mitigation and our security design. First one, you can see that Nmap, Nexus, and OpenVAS are all used to scan the vulnerability, which are they are vulnerability scanner. And we use Windows Server update services to update our software server. And also there are OpenSSL is using for encryption and decryption. Also, there are password management tools and some of the biometric authentication system like fingerprint. That's all.
So for our design core security measure, we will concentrate on mitigate ransomware on public-facing and application by a multi-layers mechanism with four main layers. For the layer one, we have authentication and authorization. The first layer focuses on access control by enforcing a strong authentication policy. It's used management tool to make unique password incorporate multi-factor authentication such as OTPs or biometric for added security. The role-based access control guided the principle of least privilege, ensure users only access to resources that are relevant to their role, reducing the risk of insider threat. For the layer 2 encryption and decryption, we use library to encrypt sensitive data, protecting it from unauthorized access by making it accessible with those without the passkey. To minimize leaking sensitive information, it should not be stored without being encrypted first. The key management for the secure handling of encryption key. For the third layer, security testing and audit, we identify vulnerability in applications such as tool asset scanning tool to identify suspicious activity in the network traffic. Log monitoring tools are also employed to track unusual behavior, making sure the user browsing safely. Lastly, we have layer 4, backup and update. This final layer is focused on maintaining system integrity by regularly updating the user machine. This makes sure all the systems are equipped with the latest security patches, which reduce the risk of attackers exploiting the outdated system. Also, users use backup plan to backup data locally in case their sensitive data is breached and cannot be recovered. So when putting all these layers together, you can see our security design is very effective in multi-layer defense mechanism. With authentication, authorization, data security, and managing activity to ensure user can mitigate ransomware attack. So for our final part, we can examine the legal, ethical, privacy aspect to ensure a comprehensive approach to the ransomware attack. First of all is the legal aspect. Most ransomware violate the law, so make sure you understand that cybercrime um, is understand that encrypting data for ransomware is illegal. The next part, paying the ransomware, is violating in the money laundering or the terrorism laws. The third one, reporting the ransomware to the local administrator. Second one, we're going to talk about the ethical aspect. Ransomware violate most of human moral, such as like paying ransomware will fund future attacks that make other people continuing to deploy ransomware. The breaches must be disclosed to user to make sure that other company notify their user that their data is affected. The ethical duty to invest in security measurement will make sure that you can prevent the further access of the ransomware. Last one, the privacy aspect. The ransomware attack the privacy of the user, so we need to make sure that uh, we have protection and breach reporting of the compliance of the company that we're using. We should also limit data collection to reduce the risk on our user. Lastly, ransomware expose sensitive information and make money from it. So make sure that you understand to protect against this aspect.
Yeah, and that is all for our group. We are Saigon South Section 3, Group 6, and you can check out the references for all of our information citations within this poster at the bottom right corner of this poster. And that's all. Thank you.